Hey, welcome back to episode 3 of Tifosi time. Why are we even counting the episodes, by the way? I don't think it really matters. But welcome to the podcast / YouTube channel where we're going to talk about Serie A, but mostly a lot of Juventus and some of the bigger teams in Italy. But, you know, we tend to strand off on pretty much anything Calcio related. So stay tuned. It's exciting. My name's Frank. This is Chris and Dan with me. You guys want to say hi?
Hey,
Hi.
I'm Chris.
How you doing? It should be interesting because we haven't really talked about anything together for the entire week. So interesting to hear each other's perspectives.
We watched the Juventus game with Daddy though. That was pretty fun.
Oh, did you? Why was I not invited to this?
I don't know. It was ridiculous though.
Oh man, see, that's a whole nother level of viewing pleasure, right? Because it's the game almost becomes secondary, which is better. No, I feel, you know what? One thing I came up with this week, day job thing sucks. It's really hard to watch games in the middle of the week when you got to work. So we have that, let alone talk to you guys. So this should be pretty good to see what you guys thought about the games. Where do you guys want to start? What game?
So let's start with Juventus then, because that's what we usually do. 2-2 versus Rome, right, on Sunday, the 2:45 game. Chris, you want to kick off your thoughts?
Yeah, I don't know. Listen. The one thing I will say is when Romeo got the yellow card, I said, even to Daddy, I said at halftime, I said you need to take him out because he's going to get a red. And what happened? Takes out McKennie and he gets a red, and I was pissed. As a Juventus fan, though, you kind of have to be happy with the considering they're down a man, though. To get that tie in the 62nd minute to get a red card and still get a tie, you have to be a little happy about that. But the way they played, I wasn't impressed.
Yeah, I didn't really think it was that bad in essence. I mean, look, what did I text you guys before the game started? I said, interesting. First thing I caught out right away was when he put Quadrado on the left, right? I was curious to see how that was going to play out. And he didn't play a good game. He didn't make the same impact he does on the right, but Danilo played better. So, I try to take everything in the context of it. I don't think McKennie, played as good. I think there was, and this goes back to how we ended, I think, some of our comments on the Juventus Sampdoria game, right? Where you guys were like, hey, it was just such a good game. And I was like, well, let's slow your roll about how much you can actually pull away from that game, right? Because it was too comfortable. Mm-hmm. And, Rome's got some dangerous players, and they came out and they made it a hard-fought game, and then you throw in the red card, and there you were scratching out a tie, right? So for where they are in the preparation and context, I don't think listen, it wasn't a great game. They didn't play a great game, but I don't think it was crazy. I think they played worse last year, let's say 20 games into Sarri, than they played on Saturday or Sunday, if that makes sense.
Yeah, Morata did not have a good game.
No,
right?
Yeah, so played though.
Yeah, that was my thing. I told you. I think I was texting you guys before this game when the starting lineup was announced. I was surprised he changed anything, to be honest. But you guys said, oh, he's going to change things up. But from going off base the first game, I thought, things went well. Why change it? And then to have Morata start, who was there for barely a week, I thought that was a little surprising, and he played terrible. So that wasn't surprising that he played bad because he hasn't been there forever. I thought the Szczesny on the penalty shot, that was very disappointing.
Yeah.
You get your hands on it, you got to save it. I've never really been a huge fan of Szczesny. I know he won goalkeeper of the year for the league last year, but I mean, he doesn't really he does his job, but he doesn't inspire a lot of confidence. The players, last week we said everyone played good. They did their roles. You can't say that about anyone really for this game. I thought McKennie was terrible. I liked the way Rabiot was playing. He was tough. He was strong. But after the yellow card, like he kept fouling and he kept going in on challenges. Like, yeah, like what are you doing? Like you use your head. And I think it was a big learning experience for Pirlo because as a new coach and hasn't been in that situation, him as a player having a yellow card, he's smart enough to say, okay, I gotta cool it. Not that he got tons of yellow cards, but like I know the situation is I can't be getting a second yellow.
Well, here's another reason why it's not acceptable, right? You have 5 subs. Like you don't even have 3, right? So
and you have good midfielders to change them with now. Like it's not like you're putting crappy players in. You have Arthur on the bench. You have Bentancur. Put him in. You know?
I mean we'll never know, right? I mean for all we know, he was going to make that change 10 minutes later, and it was 10 minutes too late, right? But it was something that the way the game was. It's like in the way when Rabiot was playing good, he's actually in the tackle and he's pushing his weight around and he's trying to win some balls, and that's when he's playing good. Like you have to kind of expect it, right? You have to almost prepare against that. So that was a miss. Look,
I think another big
subs were okay. Actually, I don't think they were too bad.
Well, I think something that we didn't talk about was Chiellini and Bonucci in the back look very old and very slow, and they scare me a little bit. They did not have good games. Bonucci had one of his patented Ole defense moves where the guy just went around him and he didn't even touch him or do anything. He's good for one of those.
One of his butts, he sticks his butt out and he turns around.
Exactly.
Around. Yeah, that's his patented.
I believe Szczesny made a save on that, but like, come on. Like when you got Demiral on the bench, I'm like, just put him in, man. Like I want to see him play.
Well, look,
Chiellini was terrible too. He was not good. Chiellini.
Yeah, I mean, nobody had a good game. That's the thing. Sorry, Ronaldo, like he put away his 2 chances that he had. He did good. Other than that, like the subs who came in didn't play good. The starters didn't play good. You can't.
Kovalevsky didn't have much of his impact stuff, and that's why. Listen, I think it was as a whole. It's like, all right, this is the first team that you were kind of playing as a challenge, right? And with the shortened off season, with coach that was thrown in there last second, with the roster that's in flux, right? People that were coming in this week and people that aren't quite, that maybe not the final roster. So I'm not hitting the panic mode at all. But I will tell you, there's some things that we've been saying for a while that this was the first little insight into potentially the problems, right? Like, the fullbacks, even though I think Danilo might have played one of his top 3 games in a Juventus.
I like the way he's played so far this season.
He's playing better than he has, but again, I think it's probably going to come a little bit more down to earth. But he's the one I'm not complaining about this game. But the defense again, like with the lid out, Demiral not in, you got Chiellini and Bonucci older in the middle. You got Cuadrado who, turned into a good right back. When he's on, I mean, okay, he hasn't played the left a while, but you definitely saw him a little bit more hesitant moving forward, not as likely to cross, right, with his left foot, so it made him less dangerous. And, I think Roma had us more worried about their wings than worried of ours.
Yeah, I mean, Spinazzola didn't have a crazy game. He didn't do anything special, But, I mean, if I'm Rome, I'm upset with that result. You're up by one goal twice. You're up a man, and you only get a tie out of that.
Yeah,
I know it's Juventus, but still, like you need 3 points there. Keep the lead, and you're up a man.
Yeah, If I'm a Roma fan, I'm totally way more upset than a Juventus fan right now. As a Juventus fan, it's good that it's early in the season and like it's a new coach. There's a lot of new players. Like they're gonna learn, right? As a Rome fan, to be up, a man 62 minutes in or whatever it was, and to tie that game, I'm pissed as a Rome fan.
I thought Arthur showed a little bit of something for the couple of minutes he got. I think he showed a couple glimpses here or there. Obviously for the 10 minutes that he got, but I think for Juventus, it's easy to say, oh, it's just an early season blip. Now, if you go into to Napoli this week coming up and you drop points again, right? And now I know it's only week 3, so you shouldn't even be talking points. But if they had come out of week 3, let's say with 3 or 4, 4 points total or 5 points, and you got the other teams on 9, it starts to put a little bit of pressure only because there's so much new, right? New coach, trying to complete year 10. The pressure can start to mount up pretty quickly. So I am curious to see what happens.
There's a bunch of teams with 6 points right now, and there's a lot of good teams with 6 points right now. So you're behind. I know it's really, really early, but you want to start off good, and not to say that they're starting off bad, but
you have to take it all. You can't make any real assertions or anything until they get 8 to 10 games under the belt, right? Because the other teams too got to prove that they can actually continue for 10 games too. So that's kind of been, as a big Juventus fan, I mean, that's been a little bit of the part that's been uninteresting for me in the most recent years of Serie A. We talked about this, is like, yeah, they won 9 in a row and that's a huge achievement, but like how much of that a lot of times was just because the other teams were worse, right? Mm-hmm. They couldn't put a string of results together. So I think we got a couple of really, better improved teams this year, and I think they're not going to make it that easy on Juventus, so they're going to have to win on merit, which I'm actually excited about. I'd rather win it on merit.
Oh no, I agree. It's way better this way. You want to see it, other teams doing well. Just on another note, for Juventus, not that there's tons going on in the transfer market, but the rumor lately, the last couple of days, is Chiesa coming to Juventus. Which I know we all don't like him, and I've been texting you guys about.
It's not Chiesa that I don't like him. It's not that I don't like him. Like, well, but
so go ahead. Go. No. So I was texting you guys, and I was saying I'll take Chiesa, but I'm putting him at fullback, and I'm not joking about that. I'm putting him at fullback because Chiesa can't finish. I'm gonna have him run up and down the wing and bust his ass and get some crosses in, and that's where I'm training him. And that's where I'm putting him.
I know you're half joking, right? But I think, but I think there's a lot of truth in what you just said, right? First of all, Chiesa, okay, came onto the scene strong. 3 years or 4 years ago now, right? Has promise, but has never took the next jump. So that's the problem, right? Second of all, look at our roster, right? Look at the roster we have right now. We have an overabundance of forwards and wings and nothing else. So, we have Bernardeschi who can't get on the field. We have Kovalevsky who's really good, but when Dybala comes back is going to be a problem, right? Where are we? We have Douglas Costa, which, we think is going to be sold, but guess what? He's still here, right? If this is Paratici, if he gets Chiesa, it just shows me again he's an idiot. Okay, because stop going after the names and the guys that cost you money. That's not how you construct the team that's going to win in the long run. You want to go spend money? You should have spent that. And I don't know how much K is going to go for. We got to figure it's, they were talking 80 at one point. It's probably
so. I think it's a 2-year $10 million each for the loan, and then 30 or 20, added on top.
You know who they need. Honestly, if you want to get someone from Serie A right now, if I was in charge, Gosens, number one.
I knew you were going to say that.
I hate because I love Gosens, right? And I think he would fit there beautiful. I would send Sandro packing. I would bring him to the airport. I'd carry him on my shoulders, take whatever cash I could, and go get Gosens because he's got the character of Juventus. He's probably one of the best fullbacks in the world right now who gets unrecognized because he's on Atalanta. He's definitely the best in Italy by far, right? He's better than Sandro. You want to have both agents call me. I'll tell you why.
I'm turning into a Hakimi fan really quick, man.
Hakimi. Okay, so you just made a good point. So if you look at the teams right now that are early on, right, look at where we're the weakest and look where they have some difference makers, right? Gosens for Atalanta, Hakimi for Inter. These guys make a difference. I mean, when we had Zambrotta in the peak, when he was going up and down the field, right? These guys, they help you balance the game, but they also help you put pressure on the other team. And they almost when they're in form, they run for 2 guys, right? So for me, you can go get all these great names you want, but you would have shown me you were smart. You would have bought Gosens, right? So I'm tired of getting forwards because they're forwards, right? Or guys because they have names, right? So I really hope they don't bring Chiesa because he's not going to play. They're going to ruin him.
I don't think it's going to happen. And I still think Costa's going to go, and I think Rugan is gone.
They've been talking about him for a long time, Chiesa, and they got Kovalevsky. So Paratici, if he gets Chiesa, he's basically saying I want to either ruin Chiesa or Kovalevsky, right? One of them he's ruining. And first of all, Kovalevsky's probably better, right?
I think so.
why are you? Why? I mean, just why? I mean, again, it's just rumor in the paper. So until he proves he's an idiot to do that, but that's not where you need to spend your money. You really,
I mean, I like I said, I don't think it's going to happen either. I just wanted to mention it because that's really the only transfer front for Juventus right now is Chiesa, and I know that we all don't agree with it, and I just wanted to talk about it for a little bit.
Well, at least he's semi-young. That's a plus.
Yeah, whatever. I don't.
He's young, but again, like he's older.
You have a younger guy in Kulusevski. Like Kulusevski's younger than him and better than him. You don't need him.
Yeah, you didn't pull the trigger on Tonali, which would have been a bet for youth, right? You don't go get someone like Gosens who can instantly upgrade your team and play for another 4 or 5 years, 6 years. Like, show me some smarts. Do something. Right, Morata was good, but
so what would you pay for Gosens? I think Hakimi went for like 40 million.
I would pay 40 to 50 million for Gosens easy, because he's a difference changer on Juventus. You put Gosens on Juventus right now. Ronaldo scores 35 goals easily.
Yeah.
You also have to be careful about the system that Atalanta plays. They are very heavily involved with the fullbacks. I mean,
that's right.
I've never seen a team cross from one fullback to the other fullback as much as them. They assist each other all the time on goals, and you don't see that.
Why do you think that they interchange so well and they create so many chances, right? Because they get this fluid running from all over the field, and the thing is, Gosens is somebody that can do it for 90 minutes at a high level and beat his man and have technique and cross the ball 9 out of 10 times perfect, right? I mean, that's somebody that I mean, listen, I love Atalanta. They're my Cinderella story. Like, besides Juventus, I hope, but I am surprised the team hasn't come in and snatched him up, because
I am too. I mean, I at least not get a strong offer for him. Maybe they rejected every offer they got, but I'm surprised an EPL team didn't jump on him. Any league jump on him. He's fantastic. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he's good, and you would hope they wouldn't ruin him if they got him. But that's why you need the right scenario. It's like, you get him, this is your spot, and we want you to play the same exact way you've been playing. That's it.
And he got his first international game recently. He finally made the.
Is he 24?
I think he's 26.
He's mid-20s. I don't know.
I think he had an assist too in his first game.
Yeah. So let's stick with Atalanta then, and go over their games because they just played today. If we didn't say, today's Wednesday, there was 3 games to make up for week 1, and they played Torino, right, the first game, 4-2. I think I predicted 6-2 last week. I wasn't far off, but just they started the season the same way they ended the season, strong, scary. They're going to be a force. They're going to be up there the entire season. Last year, it was can Atalanta stay, get to the top 4 again? That's not even a question this year. Like, they are challenging. For me, they're challenging for the championship.
Oh, I agree. I and we put them, Dan, I think at the beginning of the season when we asked, I think we said Juventus. We both had the same group. So we said Juventus, Inter, Atalanta. But
yeah,
there's no doubt, depending on, it's all about, is their roster enough to stay healthy and play the same? But in terms of style of play, and now that they believe in themselves, they're 3-4 years into this project.
It's a confidence.
The merit on the field, they can absolutely win this Serie A, right? And I would love that. If Juventus has to lose, oh man, would I love it to be the Atalanta, and then I could still laugh at the Inter fans and Uncle Roy and all them. So that would be.
But as far as that game, they go down early again. Yeah. Like, that happens constantly with them, and then they're just pouring it on. Like, oh, you scored? I don't give a crap. Like, we're gonna score 4 on you. It doesn't matter.
That's the problem of their team too, though, right? Like, the leaky faucet at the back, and I still think there's, a lot of it, 85% of it is tied into how offensive they are. Right, and the style that they play, the openness. So you're going to have that, right? You're going to have, if your whole team attacks, you're going to get spread out, But I do think that they need to get more out of their actual, center backs and defenders. They need to get some guys in there that can hit some form and just be like, you know what, I'm going to have the best 30 games of my life. and because there was some, I think one of the goals from Torino scored, one of the defenders, it might have even been Caldera, like literally just whiffed on a cross, or like went under his foot and the person like put it in. I don't know if I'm remembering. So
it's because Caldara's not good.
Right now he's not playing well at all, right? So
so this game too, like me and Dan were watching it together, and then our internet like crapped out. But we they were down 1-0, and we immediately threw a bet on them because we knew they were going to score 4. And we won that bet like easily.
Well, our producer Dom behind the curtain here, what did he do? He texts us. He's like, "Oh, I got a free bet, $100. I put it on Atalanta versus Lots today, and I don't even bet, right? I'm like the anti-winning bet. Like if I put money on someone's losing, and I was just like, "Yep, do it." And they wrecked Lazio today, and so they can they keep it up? And here's the thing, we love Gasparini, right? And we talk about like a coach elevating his players, like we know he can do it for the offensive players. It would be a hell of a trick if he can get Caldara and Romero or something, a couple of guys to really hit their stride again. Like that, that would be awesome. Because that's the only part, right? It's going to limit them because there's going to be a day where you hit 3 posts and you lose 2-1, right? Or guy gets thrown out or they call up a penalty shot against you. You can't always give up goals. You can't always count on outscoring the other team.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely have to improve back there. I still don't have faith in Caldara. I don't believe Romero is a good defender. Even today versus Lazio, he made some pretty dumb challenges like he always does. Reckless, very reckless back there. So, yeah, it's going to come down to their defense. But both games, dominating. Papu Gomez is playing out of his mind right now. It's unbelievable. It's so fun to watch.
He got a call from the national team.
And I believe he got called up, to the national team too. Like, he's ridiculous. And Zapata doesn't even have to score. Like, they have so many other people.
Well, where was it? I think it was this summer. We were having a barbecue or something, and we brought up Papu Gomez, and I go, look, Papu Gomez is basically like the poor man's Dybala, right? I mean, let's face it. I mean, in essence, he's older. He's been on the lawns forever, but that guy is good, man. He is a good player, and he's consistent, and he's lethal when he needs to be lethal, and he sacrifices enough for the team. He passes. I mean, again, like everything Atalanta touches, it turns to gold. That's why I'm
here's the thing:
chunk to turn into Zidane 2.0 because.
Well, that's what I wanted to point out. There's no Miranchuk right now. There's no Ilicic. There's no Lammers. They signed a couple of guys recently. They signed a defender and another striker. These guys, I wouldn't put any, I would put stock in them that Atalanta know what they're doing and they're going to be worth the money and they're going to make some sort of contribution.
I hate to say it, right? Because, Rugani never took a step up or anything, but don't you almost feel like Atalanta could almost and he's not a shutdown defender. He's not like an anchor Rugani, right? But don't you almost feel like that could be a guy that just coming from Juventus in terms of what it takes? I don't know.
Nobody can say he's terrible. Go to Spain, go to Valencia, get out of the country. He's not good.
But you have to, Rugani plays 10 minutes every 6 weeks, right? I mean, so
too much.
I think he's a little bit better than he probably is now. But that's the thing. Atalanta has some money. They gotta solidify the defense, right?
Mm-hmm.
They have the best attacking defense probably of any team. But can you guys actually defend, right?
All right, let's move on to Inter because when we did our last podcast, Inter had 0 games played and now they have 6 points. And the more interesting game, because today's game was, they killed Benevento, but the more interesting one was the Fiorentina game because they were down and
that game annoyed me. That game really
that game very much annoyed me too.
I think Fiorentina to win.
Yeah, I picked a tie on that one, I think. But I think the difference you saw there was the difference in the benches that the two teams have.
Oh, yeah. No.
Even Camiso said this week that, the people they brought in that game, Inter brought in that game, make a combined, $25 million.
Yeah.
I don't even think all of Fiorentina makes that.
They might make more than that.
Yeah, but timeout, too. You have to question his starting lineup. Why the hell is Brozovic playing? Why? What I mean?
Yeah.
So he brought in players that should be starting.
Well, you guys know, whenever they get a new player, especially a young player, he never puts them in right away. He was the same with Juventus. He will keep them on the bench for the first month for no reason, and they'll have to earn their spot or whatever. But yeah, he definitely has better players on the bench than what he started.
Yeah, for sure. And like I said, Hakimi, I would not take him off the field the rest of the season. He's playing every minute for me.
Well, look,
He's ridiculous.
I remember saying that when they lined up like one of their subs, and it was like they brought in like Alexis Sanchez, and I forget who else came in with that group going. Look at all the players they have. I mean, this is from the guy whining, like threatening to leave because he doesn't have enough players. I mean, come on.
He'll still complain. He will complain.
But
didn't they? Aren't they getting Darmian now too? What is he doing? Why is he getting every old player ever?
Because again, he's another guy.
He wants to win now.
He's a guy.
But he's not even good. He's not good.
And that's why the team, it's great that they have a ton of money, and Morata's like, yeah, like let's make it happen. But at some point, doesn't the organization have to go like, no? If you have a player in a need that actually will help improve your team like today, but we're not going to get stuck with a bunch of Juventus type players that are going to be 38 years old making $4 million a year or 30.5 for Darmian that has to retire here. We have to make him we have to make him when he's done because we're paying him. You know what I mean? Like, come on.
They're going to have to buy out contracts like Juventus is doing with Khedira, and he's refusing to leave because they want to pay the full. He wants the full money.
Yeah. You know? So I mean, give it up if you were Khedira.
Yeah, the transfer window is still open. They're gonna move a couple people. Like I think Nagalan's he's gone. Like he's gonna go to Cagliari.
He came in with Vidal, I think, in one sub.
Yeah, I mean, just that alone, like off the bench, like
with Alexis Sanchez. I was, who I was impressed with in this game, because it's one of the lesser known players. I actually thought Bastoni played really well. Like Fiorentina game, I thought he really held his own. He was strong in the tackle.
Well, I think his improvement is why Skriniar is leaving. I think Conte likes what he sees from Bastoni. He's like, I don't need you. I have this guy, and he's gonna play, and he's gonna do awesome for me. So yeah, I agree with that.
But he was a good prospect, wasn't he on Atalanta? Like he's
of course he was on Atalanta because everybody was. Kovalevsky, I'm telling you,
he's not a scrub.
He's just old. I think he was there.
No, I'm not saying he's a scrub.
He's coming into his own. Yeah,
he's coming into his own. I mean, we look at all these players we just mentioned, Caldara, Romero, that are like prospects, Rugani, and then they don't take a step forward; they go backward. I mean, I saw a really strong game that he played. I think Amrabat. I mean, how did you guys think he played? I know we were kind of like waiting with bated breath.
So I know we've anointed him the greatest midfielder of all time. No. I feel like Fiorentina, they play down the wings a lot, and I feel like they didn't feature him enough. Like the times he got the ball in tight spaces, like he was just able to easily take a touch and move it to the side and get going. Like I want to see him with the ball more than what.
Well, you notice where they had him though. He was basically so withdrawn protecting the defense. So he was like the anchor, right? I mean, he was playing 5-10 yards ahead of the stopper.
Dude, their defense isn't good. They have Caceres or whatever guarding Lukaku. Like, are you kidding me? That's the 80-pound difference, and he's getting tossed around. Like,
no, but Caceres has always been a tough guy who punches above.
Yeah, I like the way he played.
But he was on the wing at one point. He was a fullback, and now they moved him to the center because he's slow.
He used to play in the center too for Uruguay, but he always played a little bit better on.
No, but I see what you're saying about Amrabat. I mean, there was times where the center backs were ahead of Amrabat, and he was the last defender. I'm like, come on, man. Like, I know your defense sucks, but like, I want him to be more involved in the offense. Like,
well, listen, in a way, that was what I liked about his game too, because he brought that like iron and kind of that safety net. Like, he would be someone good on like an Atalanta, right? Because the whole team attacks, and just someone who's willing to sit, like, kind of like still be able to play the ball, but also like protect the defense a little bit. So I don't know if it was just because Inter took over the field and they were pressing, and Fiorentina was trying to hold on. But I think you'll see more out of Amrabat. I still think the way he was moving too, I don't think he was 100% like fluid with the team. But I was just curious because I know we talked a lot about him beforehand.
Yeah. Fiorentina should have won that. I mean, not should have, but they could have won that game. Kwame missed how many shots?
Yeah. So you see the difference in the subs. Like when Iachini had the lead, like he went all defensive. He took out Chiesa. He took out like his offensive people. He threw in some defensive people. And then Inter, you knew once they tied that game, they were scoring right away. Like I knew that lost 100%. Even though there was like 5 minutes left, like nope, they're scoring again, and the game's over.
No, because you can't compare the teams.
Yeah, he changed too much. I know they were tired and everything, but he went a little too defensive for me.
One thing we didn't mention was Ribery. His passing was like ridiculous.
Yeah, he played well.
I mean,
He
can't move that much, but
no, he can't move that much anymore. But he made some nice passes.
Yeah, it was nice to watch.
Castrovilli had another goal. I mean, if he can put in goals on a consistent basis, and he doesn't do much. Like he didn't have a good game, but he still had a nice finish. But you get a midfielder that can score consistently. That's definitely
you know how those are, though. By the end of the season, it evens out. But if in a good year, he'll end up somewhere between 8 and 12 goals, right? And that's in a good year. And he's not the type of person to do that every year. No, I was annoyed by that game. I mean, quite frankly, because Inter celebrates like they won the Scudetto. They act like they played great. Meanwhile, they have 37 players to choose from. Juventus has a ton of players too, so that's not nothing. But it's like, come on, dude, really? Like you guys got lucky because up until the last 5 minutes, like you were going home with a big goose egg.
Yeah, I would have loved to see that press conference if they lost, though.
Yeah. I mean, he started Korolev, right? And then he started D'Ambrosio, right? And then Hakimi came in?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Sensi came in.
Sensi came in. I mean, they got guys like, Sensi's a good player, right? Like, is he going to get any space on this team? Not unless they sell a bunch of people. I mean, he played okay when he came in, but there's so many players in the midfield.
Well, that's why I was so curious about the Brozovic start because like he's rumored to leave like any hour, and they start him.
Well, they might have been trying to showcase him, maybe, or
and he gets hurt
some type of value out of him,
Yeah, he gets hurt and you're screwed.
Yeah.
But as far as their second game, I mean, today they played Benevento. I was at work. I didn't even watch it. I actually turned on because by the time I got to my computer at work, Inter was already up. So I was like, I'm watching Udinese and Spezia. And I watched that game instead of the Inter game. And I don't know. I mean, you expected them to win. They won handedly. It wasn't hard at all.
Yeah, I mean, there was a couple of bad goals given away by Benevento, and you can't play you can't be a lower table team and then play one of the big guys and give them a couple goals, right? I mean, you're not going to win on that day. And I think even I saw the highlights only because I was swamped back to back during the day job today, but even Handanovic gave away a really bad pass that led to a goal.
Yeah, that was awful.
Yeah.
That was really bad. But just quick note, I did pick Udinese to get relegated, and they are freaking terrible. So just keep an eye on that one. I really see them getting relegated. They're awful.
They're not good.
Let's move on to Napoli because they played Genoa, and I want to talk about this game for a couple of reasons. One, 6-0, they won, and
I was actually pretty shocked about that game, to tell you the truth.
Well, here's
more from Genoa.
Here's the thing with that game is Genoa, after the game, it was released that they have 11 players positive with COVID and 3 staff members. So I don't know if that into any sort of
that played
reason. Yeah. Well, I don't know if they played or who it was exactly. They didn't announce, but
I think
11 players.
I think one of them was Zappacosta, and he played for sure. And Juventus, this guy, what's his name? He's positive too.
Who, Pellegrini or
the forward? Who is it? What's his name?
Oh, Piacca.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So here's the thing. They did get hammered, but maybe there was some health issues there.
Well, you would think they wouldn't have known that, though, right? I mean, otherwise they wouldn't have been on the field.
No, I mean they couldn't have. I mean, you have 11 people positive. You can't play that game. They're going to postpone it.
Yeah. But that's not an excuse.
Okay, but Napoli,
I mean, it's not, right? I mean, they didn't know they were positive. They didn't postpone it like you were on the field.
But they could have still been feeling bad. Like you still feel sick. You feel crappy.
Maybe, whatever.
The body language on those players did not look good.
They didn't play. I mean, maybe that is an explanation because honestly, the guys that they brought in between the loans and stuff, I expected more. I really did, and maybe they just got to hit their own, or maybe they were tired, like you said, from being sick. But
it was bad. I mean, it was just goal after goal. Like they were not stopping. It was fun to see Napoli play like that, but for Genoa, that was bad. I thought they played pretty good their first game, but Napoli took tests since then, and all their players are negative.
That's good, but still early though, right?
I mean they're going to take more. But
so is Genoa's game postponed this week or?
I don't know. I haven't heard.
Why don't they just make them play with subs?
Oh yeah. Okay. Let's play with 16-year-olds.
So does that mean that they should quarantine Napoli for 14 days too, right?
I don't
think so because they haven't tested. I think they're just going to continually test them. I
don't like the whole thing. Like if you know people had it, you came in contact with them, and you're isn't it for 14 days?
Yeah, but I mean this is Italy, and who knows what rules they're following over there. But Gattuso with the offensive powerhouse, like we always knew he was.
Gattuso. The fatter, ruffier Conte.
It was a good game by them, though. Osimhen started. What else happened? Like Zielinski had a really nice goal, right? You missed it. Watch the highlights again. They did really well. And they have 6 points, right? They're up there. So
the table right now is Napoli, just goal differential, Atalanta, Inter, and Verona. Yeah, Verona with 6 points.
Verona, one of my favorite teams.
Then Milan with 6.
Yeah, we haven't even talked about them. They we said they need a strong start, and they're starting strong. Tonali started the game too, actually.
No, yeah, I mean, listen, I think we said Verona we thought would stay out of relegation, so they're off. I mean, it's 2 games, right? I mean, you could literally end up last. But it's when you're one of those teams, you end up with 6 points, and you start saying, "Oh, I got to get to 38 or 40 to save myself." It starts to really help your psyche. Plus, we love their coach. I mean, he's a good.
Juric is fun to watch, and they seem to love him over there. So it's a good fit. Like we said, they don't have aspirations of really making any tournaments. They just want a solid season, and they're going to get a solid season.
Juventus is in 6th.
Yeah, baby.
Tied with Sassuolo, 4 points apiece.
It's early to look at that. Let's
Sassuolo, Caputo could have 20 goals by now. Jesus.
He had 4 goals, 3 taken away. He scored 1. The guy's a beast.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if that ref had something out for him, but it's 3 goals taken away, and then finally got
offsides. No.
Yeah, I mean, he should learn the rules and know what offsides is, but he can finish with the best of them.
What about? Are you guys worried about? You guys were hard over Fiorentina, and they're in 9th right now.
It's 2 games. Relax, bro.
They played Inter. What do you want?
Yeah, they blew a game to Inter. They gave Uncle Roy a happy weekend. You got Lazio 10th.
Well, listen, Lazio
dominated. They got dominated today.
They got dominated pretty hard. We have to see. I don't know. They haven't really integrated any of their new players.
I think they just got that kid from Man U's going through, Pereira or something. They're buying.
Yeah, I think the midfielder, right? Yeah. They locked up Luis Alberto, right? They locked him up. They signed him to an extension, which is good. They're keeping another player. But as far as their performance on the field,
that was bad.
Dominate.
It was bad.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, like
maybe you thought maybe they even had a chance with when Caicedo scored that goal and Immobile had a chance. Like maybe they would have a little momentum, but
Gomez scored right away.
Yeah,
and it was a ridiculous goal. It was nice.
The lesson there is do not bet against Atalanta ever.
I never do,
and I can't wait until they play Inter.
Wait, speaking of betting, not that anyone cares, but this weekend, 10-game parlay, got 9 right, 1 wrong. Guess what it was? Juventus.
Oh, how much would that have paid?
At $850.
This was like $1.
It was like $1 bet.
It was $1 bet.
Game, 1 wrong, and it was Juventus. Picked them to win. They tied 2-2. When that red card happened, I was so pissed. Nah, I'm not cashing out. We go.
That would have been cool. That would have been cool, though. That would have been
nice.
Yeah. What about Rome sitting there at 15th with 1 point?
15th. The coach has got to be worried, man. I mean, I don't know.
I mean, they don't even have their goalie situation under control. Like Morante starting their games, like they're a mess to me. Rome. I don't like Dzeko leaving, and then all of a sudden he's still your captain and he's starting and everything's okay. Like I don't get it. Hopefully the new owner can really like put a stranglehold on things and put them in a direction. There's rumors that Totti's gonna come back to the team because the old owner isn't there anymore. Maybe he can help them out, but like I just don't like what they're doing as an organization.
Well, I think they're confused, right? I mean, it's a team in transition with like no clear direction. You got people like in power, out of power, making decisions, and like you're sold, we're keeping you. It is weird. I mean, it's definitely weird. Yeah.
Let's Chris, do you have like the schedule for week 3 this weekend? I just want to see what games are there because I haven't really looked at it, to be honest, but maybe we can take a look at a few games, even pick a couple if you want.
Yeah, that works. To find it.
Because I think what I heard our awesome producer say was Juventus plays Napoli. I don't know if that's correct or not.
2:45.
I mean, Juventus better shape up if Napoli's going to put 6 in the net. I mean, you gotta.
What's the date?
I'm curious to see. I'm curious to see the lineup Pirlo puts out. Does he get nervous and go back to his original lineup? Does he? Well, he can't.
If he's thinking nervous based on what happened, like he's got to look at his roster and try to find the best 11 combination based on what he sees. You can't react based on.
I'm hoping he has Arthur start because Rabiot's not there. We get to see like a full 90 from him. And
what about Bentancur, huh? Bentancur like barely got the field. I wonder if I can't see him being shut out the whole season, right?
No. There's too many games to shut anyone out, unless you're Rugani.
Or you're Emery Chan, where he couldn't make the damn Champions League roster with Sarri last year.
Thank you, Sarri.
Stupid. I'm still pissed about that.
So the games are up here. Juventus does play Napoli.
Look at that barn burners. What is that? 9 a.m. on Saturday morning? Sassuolo Crotone. Wow, awesome.
I'll be up for that.
All right, yeah. So why don't you guys nominate a game and we'll pick it and we'll kind of just each pick one.
Well, I think we're all gonna say let's pick the Juventus game. So what do you think, Juventus or Napoli? What do you feel, Frank?
Oh, I gotta go first.
Yeah, you go first.
2-1 Juventus.
Okay, I'm going tie for that game. Napoli gives Juventus trouble sometimes, so I'm going to say tie 2-2.
I'm going to say 2-0 Juventus.
Wow. All right, the game I want to look at over there is Lazio-Inter. Is Lazio going to bounce back? Inter going to keep in form and start the players that should be starting? I think Inter is going to win this game. I'm going to say 3-1 Inter.
Okay. I'm going to say 1-0 Lots.
Wow, really? You have a reason for that, or are you just pulling that out of your butt?
I just don't like it. I do not like Inter. I think Lots is going to bounce back. We'll see how it goes.
Well, I freaking hate Inter, but I'm going to say they're going to win because Lots has still got to get their house in order. And Inter, Inter, this is what's going to happen with Inter. They're going to ride high, and then they're finally going to hit a point in the season where they're going to get punched in the face, and they're going to cry like little babies and crumble to the ground, right? so but right now they're in their ride high, so I think Inter 3-1.
3-1.
Yeah.
What's the last game you guys want to pick?
Well, I picked a game.
Thanks, I can't see.
Yeah, I can't see it either. It's too small.
Nicely produced.
All the other games really aren't too.
Yeah, there's not too many great ones this weekend.
What are you talking about? There's a little Bologna Benevento action.
Oh wow!
There's a little Atalanta Cagliari game.
Ugh.
I don't
know. Come on.
So pick a game, Frank, and we'll go off it.
All right, Atalanta Cagliari. I say Atalanta wins 4-1.
Oh, shocking!
Wow, you really picked a hard one there.
I gotta get one right. I'm always getting them wrong.
I'll say 5-1 Atalanta.
Yeah, did you pick a score, Frank?
4-1.
4-1. I'm gonna say because their defense sucks. I'm gonna go with another 6-2 win.
All right, should we pick another one?
No. There's not any good games this week.
What are you talking about? They're all good. Hey, better than the
I'll
Jets
watch
game.
them, but they're not going to be good. I'll watch them.
Yeah. No, all right. So any key, like main takeaways from week 2/3? Was it 2/1? Today was week 1 game.
2/1. Yeah, week 2 is officially done now.
So what are your early takes 2 weeks into the season? What stick out to you?
Atalanta's the team to beat.
Really?
Yeah, I'm dead serious.
Yeah.
For me, I'm a little nervous for Lazio. Like I don't see them. I see them continuing on a downward trend.
For the record, I did not put them in my top 6.
I don't know. I don't remember. I definitely didn't put them in my Champions League. I don't know if I think I put them in my top 6. But going to Inter now, that's not an easy game. So
I had just lost you guys, so you came back now.
No, it's fine. I was just rambling about Lazio. I think they're going to struggle, and that's not good. But Chris, what about you?
I said Atalanta's team to beat.
Oh yeah, Frank, what'd you say?
Yeah, no, I think I think my takeaway is Atalanta can challenge this year only because growing the couple years that they've been on in a row, experience in the Champions League, adding a couple players. I think Atalanta can challenge. I think they're going to be right up there with Inter and Juventus challenging for first place this year, despite having a lot less players and a lot less salary. I do think that's going to happen. I think Milan is off to a good start, and hopefully they can. I think they're a really young team, but I think they, hopefully that'll help build those guys. But no real takeaways this year. I think a lot of the storylines that we said early in the beginning of the year are still got a long way to play out. So it's going to be interesting. When's the final day of the transfer market? October what?
It's the first week of October.
Yeah,
I think.
Are there any fullbacks on the radar for Juventus, or they just stacked there?
Chiesa.
I don't think they're going to buy a fullback.
October. Last question. You guys think Dybala starts?
Yeah,
he's got to.
I think so. Right?
I think Kovalevsky comes out.
If he's healthy, yeah.
Yeah, when he's healthy, I think right now Kovalevsky comes out because he played. He didn't play that great last game. I think Dybala gets a spot back with Ronaldo.
I would play all three.
I think Morata comes out. I mean, he also just had a kid this week, so I don't know how much he's practicing. So I don't think Morata starts. So I think you see Dybala.
Yeah, but I think that's what's going to be. I think it's going to be Dybala, Ronaldo's, and then the trident's going to be either Kovalevsky or Morata, depending on the game and how he wants.
Or Ramsey too.
Ramsey's been playing okay, but I think he's going to be in a battle all year, right? I mean,
he's not going to stay healthy. So it doesn't
matter. Well, he does. I mean, I hope the guy stays healthy. So you think we're done? So you think this is the Juventus team pretty much? It sounds like October 5th is going to come and go, and these are the guys.
I think you're going to see more subtraction. I think you're going to see Rugani and you're going to see Douglas Costa gone. But if they do bring in, it's going to be one more person. But I do think it's going to be a big person. They're not going to throw in some little bench player.
What position? Okay, what position? Let's say they sell Douglas Costa. They sell Rugani.
They're going after Chiesa.
Where's he going to play?
He's coming.
Why are you going to get rid of a forward to bring in a forward?
Because they don't know what they're doing.
Well, okay, so you agree with me, because if you were
but I still think it's gonna happen.
I mean, really, is that what you guys think? You think they're going to bring in another forward? I don't think so. I think they're going to sell because they have to sell. They have to cut the roster, and they might not bring one in.
To be fair, right now Chiesa is not playing forward. He's been playing midfield. So he's interchangeable. He's flexible.
He's not a midfielder.
We don't know about Bernadeschi.
It's like Bernadeschi or Ramsey in the midfield. Do we need another one of those?
I don't want
to. No. We don't.
No.
All right, let's end this. Another fantastic episode.
Call it a loss.
Probably our best.
I was just gonna say, I have a request to the producer if we can get a little Twitter handle up in that logo somewhere.
We still have our Twitter.
Yes.
I think Dan runs it, so if we can get that in there next week, and don't forget to like and subscribe.
Yeah, we need 2,000 subscribers by Sunday, so make it happen.
Please subscribe. I don't know. We have fun doing it, so.
I will see you guys later.
Yep.
Man, it's short show today. You guys are slackers.
See ya.
I think the cooking channel is coming on.